Listen, I'm just as shocked as you are, but there's actually been some demand for this video. So I've gotten some comments about how the aisle planner video tutorials that I've done in the past have been super helpful and you guys wanted more. So today I am delivering just that. I'm taking you along screen sharing because it's the best thing I know how to do when I'm teaching tutorials. And I'm showing you exactly where to click if you are interested in being an aisle planner user or you are already using AislePlanner for your wedding planning needs. Now, if you've watched some of my past videos, I am currently phasing out AislePlanner and have gotten into my own custom Notion portal. However, if you are like, I need a turnkey, something set up, I don't even know where to begin about creating my own Notion thing, then I would absolutely still recommend AislePlanner. It's been great. I don't necessarily have anything bad to say. I was just looking to reduce monthly costs. So I paid for someone to build me my own custom Notion dashboard, and that's what we use because the monthly fee for it is a lot lower. But that being said, today I'm sharing a little screen share of walking you through an AislePlanner tutorial specifically on how to set up a new portal or kind of dashboard for your couples and when to know what you should give them access to and what you shouldn't give them access to based off of the package that they bought from you. Let's jump in.
Okay, so this is where we're at on AislePlanner when we're ready to create a new project. For this example, I'm going to create a wedding since that's what most of you are interested in. Create project. Project type, it's a wedding, but if you accidentally selected the other one, you can go back to the other one here. Templates, so we've already plugged in a lot of templates just based off of venues that we work at a lot and their specific requirements. So that's something that definitely, if you are using AislePlanner a lot, I would go in and take time to create some templates. I'll link to my other video where I do talk a little bit about this, but if you guys want something more in depth, I'm happy to do another one for you. So for this case, let's just do our full service planning. Project name, let's go with Becca and Frank are going to be our guests or our couple for this example. So Becca and Frank's wedding. Service type, this is where if you do leads through AislePlanner, this is where you would select this type of service that you are providing for them. We don't do our leads through AislePlanner, so I don't have that set up. Bride, we're just going to go Becca B, groom, Frank F. We will upload a photo. I'll try to find a fake one to put for their profile. But here, let's select a pretend date. Time zone, let's say it's Central here in Tennessee. Let's go to Nichols Air, Tennessee, one of my favorite venues out here. And let's say our guest count is 100. Budget, let's go for 75. Ooh. Okay, here's where one question comes up a lot is, how do you know what to assign your couples based off of the package that they hired you for? And this is a great question. In our case, we really only do full service planning or wedding management. Now, a wedding management client, which sometimes is called a month of coordination client, we just call it wedding management because we work several months ahead. We do not give them access to the budget. So I do want to keep the checklist. The calendar I haven't found to be very helpful. So for everybody, I do remove it. Timeline, yes, definitely keep. Design studio, remove because wedding management is not including design or planning. It's just coordination. So it's up to them to do their own design. Guest and seating, yes, I do their layout. When I use AislePlanner, I do use the layout here, unless the venue is going to give me access to something that they create, which sometimes happens. Contacts, yes, this is for all my vendor contacts. Budget, no. It's up to them to manage their own budget in wedding management, so I do not give them access to that. And notes, yes. Wedding website, no. If you do your wedding websites on AislePlanner, then go ahead and check that. Otherwise, I don't. Although for wedding management, I don't even offer that. I do offer that for full service planning. So let's create the project. Okay, So first up, my checklist. So because I used a template, this is going to give me the template for that specific venue, and it's going to be wedding management. Now, a couple things here. In the past, and I will be honest, I haven't edited this checklist in a very long time, so it's quite long, but I'm going to tell you something here. I am torn. I sometimes give my wedding management clients the full checklist that includes stuff like order your dress, have your fitting, all this kind of stuff, because I want to be the resource where they come to and at least have some information. And I've always found the Aisle Planner checklist to be super helpful in that sense. Now, that being said, I have nothing to manage here. So, a wedding management client, they're on their own. They can come and view this full checklist and check things off as they see fit, but it has nothing to do with me. However, I am going to go through and typically I will kind of tag myself on the items that are relevant to me. So let's say I'm going to do a final walkthrough. I am going to do an assignment to me. I haven't added the clients yet, so we would have to go into the settings, planning partners, and then add the clients and their emails in order for us to be able to tag them. So when I have a date, for example, on the final walkthrough, I would go in here and select the date of our final walkthrough. And then I would, of course, tag myself and I would assign the couple once they're added in here so that under assignment overview, it's going to show up. It's going to have their names here and it's going to show up with their to-dos as well as mine. So they're going to get an email notification. I want to say like the week before and the day before or something like that. And then I'm going to get a notification as well if I need to confirm anything with them. So anything, okay, so for example, ceremony, okay, review ceremony details and decide where the standing order. So I have a note here. Let's see if I did this right. Oh yeah, I wrote a note. Planner will send you a template. So I will assign this to myself. And, let's put a date here. I have a template, which I could probably link the whole thing here. I'm not sure if it's clickable, but it's a Canva template. I will put the link to it. I think I have a freebie for it. I'll put the link to it below. But this will basically give you access to a template that they can fill out. So they just make a copy and it says, partner one name, partner two's name, wedding party for partner one, wedding party for partner two. How many chairs do you need reserved in the front seat or in the front row? How many people are standing? Who's walking with who? What are your songs? So there's like this whole template that they need to fill out. So yes, I want to be assigned to that so that I can know that this is getting filled in and I can remind them of the due date. Of course, anything that has to do so with the venue. This is something specifically to the Surf Hotel. They require that the couple does a tasting within 9 to 12 months. I would want to pre-assign those dates as soon as we have those in there, and I would go ahead and assign the couple. The Surf Hotel's in Colorado, and I live in Nashville, but we are on the preferred list, so we tend to work out there a few times a year. I do not go to the tasting, but it's not a bad idea for me to at least tag myself to make sure that this is on their radar. So things like that, I usually go through the checklist and see if there's anything that I want to be in the loop on and make sure that for my timeline and for my day of information that I'm really kind of kept in the loop. So I go through each category like that. I will say that I actually must have pared this down a little bit because it used to be much lengthier and this is way better. And of course, if you have anything you want to add, just a little plus sign, put that description in, assign a time or a number of weeks, and you're good to go. So love that. Oh, here's another little note. So design your preliminary timeline. Oh, Planner and Surf Hotel will do this. So you can add a pre-assignment here that Planner, I think, Planner and venue. That can be a pre-assignment to that. Great. So then in the overview, they'll start to populate with all of our to-dos. And then, of course, when you feel like you're in a good place with the checklist, you go ahead and release the checklist. Everyone can see it. Great. Timeline, again, I do have a template. Let me see. Let's see. Wedding management. Let's import that and see what happens. Grouped into 3 days. Yeah. Let's select our, what did we select as this wedding date? I think we say April 5th? Okay, so this will be the day before. This will be the day of. This will be the day after. Bam, look at that. Okay, so this is actually, I realize this is probably for a different venue, but it is wedding management nonetheless. So that is super helpful to have. I've like pre-populated this. Even if I am a year before the wedding date right now, I think it's nice for my clients to be able to see that I've like put a rough draft together for them. We maybe don't know the times, but if we do, if there's anything we know, I go ahead and put that in right away. It just helps them with their planning. They can then go back to their vendors and say, okay, my planner's already put together this rough timeline. Does this help you with the proposal? Or does this help you with your contract? Or does this help you? So I really think when you're working with a wedding management couple, I like to put this together very, very early on. For the most part, they will know when their ceremony starts, so you can go ahead and just plug that in. Ceremony begins, let's say 4 p.m. It's so easy to plug in. Now, one recommendation, I would be sure to lock the settings. And let's talk about that for a minute. So I believe, let's see, planning partner. So if I add, I'm going to do myself here. Happy test. Okay. Now let's look at the full client access. This is really important. Checklist. Yes, I do want them to have full access. Or maybe, no, I do want them to have full access. Timeline. I want them to read only. I really, really recommend this because I have had clients go through, and no fault to their own, they thought they should, but they've gone through and edited the timeline. And I put in so many notes in the timeline that help me build it that I really don't want anybody to edit it unless I give them access. So right away, read only. And I'd rather they write me a message and say, hey, I noticed you put the ceremony at 4, but that's actually our guest arrival. So ceremony would start at 4:30, and I'll go and change it, no problem. Guests and seating, yeah, they can do what they need to there. Contacts, I do give them full access because they can, wedding management especially, they should go in and add their own vendors. Notes, same thing, they can add their own notes. Add or edit partners, yeah, not allowed. I don't want them to add their mother unless they talk to me about it, but that's not ideal. Okay, so timeline, we're good. Obviously, we release it when it's time. Oh, and did you know you can add multiple timelines? I like a running timeline of all my days together, but if you prefer not to do that, you can just add another timeline and have this one be, wedding day, and then add a rehearsal day, add another day. Or you can also create, which is really fun, a really fun idea and something that I haven't had the time to do, but you could create their own wedding party timeline. That's helpful for like hair and makeup schedules, or even like letting the couple know where they need to be at what time and what to look to without all the details of like photographer shoots details at this time. They just need to know what time to be in their dress, what time to be ready. Okay. Guests. This section I find to be a little confusing for people. There is a way, let me make sure, is it this one? Yes. Okay. So you click on this little button. You can, oh wait, is it this one? Let me just make sure. Guest list spreadsheet. Oh no, this is just going to pull this one into a spreadsheet. Hold on. Where do we see that? Oh, okay. So you can, I swear there's, okay, well, that's nice. They're putting a video. Okay, this has maybe changed or I have not found it yet, but typically there used to be a basic document. Maybe it's on here. Here we go. Okay, so when you go, so add guests, import guest list. When you click here, you would want to recommend them using a template if they're going to do it on their own, because they might not come into AislePlanner and log all of that in. They might prefer to do it on like an Excel spreadsheet or a Google sheet. So you want to give them a template just because when you upload it, it will auto-populate in here and make it so much easier for you to drag and drop, or for them to drag and drop their people to the right table. So you can download by party template, or you can download by the individual, just depending on what they prefer. And then when you get that and they fill it out, you would just go ahead and upload it here. It will auto-populate based off of the names of these categories, and voila, you've got yourself this great spreadsheet of all your clients' names. Now, this is important to have it in here if you're going to use the layout and seating. So you can absolutely start with a basic seating here. Maybe let's do 12 tables, 10 per table. And you can, ideally, you're going to have all your people listed from your guest list, and you will start to drag and drop them. Not you. By you, I mean the couple. The couple is going to drag and drop them into each table. You can name the table, rename the table, whatever you want to do. You can also remove chairs, add chairs, all that. So that kind of sets it up by table. Now, if you're wanting to do the layout, this is where things get a little bit tricky, because I know some of you are just not comfortable with layouts. I would say the best thing is to go ahead and ask the venue for a PDF of the layout. Okay, well, here's a rough layout that we have from a past venue. So we have saved a lot of our venues in here. So you would just import it and then start to drag your tables, And then here's where our 2 guests were already assigned. But you can toggle to and from kind of seating, put them on there, and change their chairs around depending on who you want. You can also tap the guests here. So that's kind of nice, because I wonder if you can put them in a different seat. Oh, you just move them around, right? So you could start dragging people and put them at the table that you want. Voila. And then contacts, of course, this is just kind of your contact cards for your vendors. You would add, you could browse, like we've saved some of our favorite contacts in here. And let's do my friend Lauren, pulled her stuff up. She's a photographer. Let's say they've booked her. Added, bam, all her contact information is here. We like to communicate about the vendor in this comment side. So this is where I would write a note being like, okay, Lauren is giving you a free engagement shoot. Do you want to schedule it for, this date or that date? And then the client would get a notification and they can answer. I've liked this feature because it avoids just a bunch of emails about different things. This really gives you the opportunity to just talk about one single vendor or one single thing, and that's super helpful. So those are the contacts. And then the notes. We have some templates that we can release for them, like communication, welcome, intro to AislePlanner, but we have created all of these. So I do think the whole thing with AislePlanner is you do need to take some time to create these items that you're going to reuse all the time. And like I said, having it set up in a way that is by venue that you work at a lot may be the best way to do this for you, just because you can keep reusing it over and over. And once you've created it once, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So there you have it. I hope this little tutorial was helpful. Let me know what else you want me to focus on. This was really kind of getting set up for a wedding management client and what I give them access to and what I do not give them access to.
Guys, thank you so much for joining today. I hope that was helpful. As always, I love creating videos based off of your requests. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That is always the most helpful thing you can do and has no cost to you. And if you want to join my membership, I am giving you guys some inside a really actually intimate inside look at my business. And it's starting with how I did in 2024. We are going line by line, and you might be shocked at some of the numbers in there. So if you'd like to join my membership community, that is linked down below. I would love to see you there.